Hi, I'm Barbara Friesner, and I'm guessing that you found this page because someone you know is getting increasingly forgetful and you're searching the internet looking for answers. And the good news is you're in the right place. And if you're a little scared, I completely understand that too. Presently, 5.3 million people are diagnosed with some form of dementia, and every 70 seconds someone else in America will be diagnosed. And the problem is, if you are currently a care manager or care provider for someone who is getting increasingly forgetful, or you see that in your future, or you're concerned about yourself, the difficulty is to know what's really going on and then what to do about it. Unfortunately, because of fear of things like the responsibility of having to take care of someone who has dementia, or fear of the heartbreak of watching someone you love disappear, most people don't do anything until there's a crisis. The problem with a crisis is that at that point, there are usually fewer options, more costly options, and a lot more stress because a crisis rarely happens at a convenient time. But the real tragedy is doing nothing and only to discover later on that the forgetfulness might have been stopped or even reversed if it had been caught early enough on. And there are causes of increasing forgetfulness that can be stopped or reversed if they're caught soon enough. And that really is heartbreaking. The fact is, I know what you're going through and I want to help. For 17 years, I was the care manager for my mother. And she had dementia, and I started taking care of her after my father died. And at first I thought she was just pleasantly forgetful, and made worse by having to take over all the things that my father used to take care of, especially taking over the finances. And the fact is, I took over the finances for her, and she actually got better. Because I think the stress of handling the finances was really difficult for her. But it really didn't take long to realize that there was more of a problem than just pleasantly forgetful or having to handle the finances. And I helped her through living alone and then moving her into an assisted living community and getting her to stop driving and moving her into a nursing home. And by the time she died a few months ago, she no longer knew who I was, or to be perfectly honest, she no longer knew who she was. And throughout all of that time, throughout the 17 years, it wasn't that easy because when we started, we really weren't that close, all the typical mother-daughter stuff. But over the years, we could no longer communicate head-to-head, and so I learned how to communicate heart-to-heart. And oddly enough, at the end, when that's all we had, communicating heart-to-heart, we became very close. And because of the time that I spent helping my mother and my grandmother before her, helping family members with a loved one with dementia has become something of a specialty for me. Now, when I first started helping my mother 17 years ago, and my grandmother before her, there was no internet, and information was very hard to find. Now when you Google dementia, over 12,800,000 entries come up, which is pretty amazing. So I went from no information at all to an overwhelming amount of information. I mean, it's like trying to drink from a fire hose. I mean, where do you even start? Well, I can help you in two ways. I said you've come to the right place, and you are, because this is the perfect place to start, and it's the perfect place to go through the process with someone who can really help you. First of all, I have a great CD. So if you're just starting out and you need to know information like what are other causes of increased forgetfulness, or behaviors that may indicate dementia, or the diagnosis process, or how to improve and enhance communication, how to communicate better, how to keep them independent for longer, all of those kinds of things, all of those are on the CD. And it takes you through the entire process. And that's something that there's none of the jargon, there's no medical ease and all that kind of thing in it. It's just practical, useful information from someone who's been there and who knows and has practical information, what to do, how to do it. And I think that's the most important thing. So the first way is through the CD, which is called Is It Simple Forgetfulness or the Real Thing? And you can get it by clicking the button over on the left-hand side, well, your left-hand side over on the side. And I really encourage you to check this out, because I think, especially if you're just starting out or just getting involved, this is going to help you so much. Now, the second way is if you have an aging loved one that's really having problems because of their forgetfulness, such as leaving on the stove or, losing their car keys or losing their car, which was one of my mother's favorites. She would park the car and then forgot where she'd put it. And then she would call the police and report that the car had been stolen. So that was difficult. That's when we took the car away. But anyway, something is happening, and you need to start to step in and help, and you need to do it now. Then I really urge you to consider generational coaching. With generational coaching, I can work with you, the family member. I work with the family members only to determine the best solution for your loved one with the increased forgetfulness, and to help you then, first of all, figure out the right answer, and then to help you get those solutions put into place so that your loved one is safe and healthy and happy, which is always the objective. And since all generational coaching is by phone, I work with family members all over the country, all over the world actually. And because it's by phone, I can work with all of the family members so that we can have conference calls and everybody's working together to get it going. Now, if generational coaching sounds like something that you'd like to do, what I suggest is that we set up a complimentary Get Acquainted conversation. It is, as I said, it's complimentary, and you call a toll-free number to get in touch with me. So the whole beginning is free, and the toll-free number is 877-AGE-WISE or 877-243-9473. Again, that's 877-243-9473, and the number will be at the end of this video as well. Or you can contact me at barbara@agewiseliving.com or through the contact page on my website, agewiseliving.com. But I really beg you, please don't wait for a crisis. Check out the CD, Is It Simple Forgetfulness or the Real Thing? Call me and let's discuss the generational coaching, or just call me and we can talk for a little bit, but please do step up before the crisis. I know what you're going through, and I want to help. Thank you.